Hello, welcome back dear students. Welcome back to our e-learning sessions. This e-learning session initiated by Sri Vidyadis Vidya Sankul under the guidance of Dr. G.M. Sutaria sir. And welcome back to our subject SPCC. We are discussing part now second, that is the secretarial practice, and chapter number first. And the name of the chapter is Issue of Shares. And this is our lecture number 3. In previous two sessions, that is in previous two lectures, we discussed everything about the shares. What are the different requirements when you are issuing the share, the meaning of a prospectus, bonus share, right share and everything. And then in previous session we discussed about the provision, or we can say the procedure of the issue of shares. Today in this session we are going to discuss the procedure of share allotment. In previous session we discussed about the procedure of share application, in which the first point is opening of bank account, where a company has to open separate bank account for the IPO purpose, in which all the application money will be received and credited, and once full process ended, then this money will be transferred to the original bank account, and the company will start a business or will expand the business activity according to their needs. Then second one was the receiving share application, where once the bank account is opened, then they are able to receive the share application from the different corners of the country, and on the basis of filling up of this particular data, and yes, we discussed about the ASBA, that is the full form of ASBA is given, and I told you to remember that particular application supported by blocked amount. Nowadays another two issues are there in the market which are open for the subscription from 21st September to 23rd September. Almost when this lecture is delivered to you, the subscription process will be ended and the investors will wait for the allotment procedure for allotment of the shares. Then third one is a classification of share applications based on the different eras, or based on the different categories which we mentioned previously, that is the retail category, HNI, that is high net worth individuals, then institutional investors, and if FDI allowed, and then last one is stock option plan to the employees, that is the reserve category for employees. And then fourth point is share application and statement of share allotment. Now today we are going to start our lecture with the procedure of share allotment. Now once the application received from different types of investors, all the applications will be combined, or nowadays due to this modern technology they make a list of different types of investors on the basis of category. Once this list is prepared, it is not ever, never ever on the basis of first come first serve, or we can say if in the initial day, say for example the issue is opened for 21st September to 23rd September. So company will never focus on all these applications which are received on a very first day. It may happen that some of the shares application will be received in more than 7 times or 10 times on their very first day also. Then also we have to make some kind of arrangement on the basis of which we can allot the shares to the different shareholders. And lastly we discussed three possibilities. First possibility, just for your knowledge, is that if application amount is equal to required amount, it means we come up with the IPO of 100 crore rupees, and at the same time we received an application of 100 crore, then there will be from allotment. It means we will allot the shares according to the applications received, or we can say we will allot the share to all those who have applied for the shares. Second one, if application amount is less than required amount, then there is a provision of minimum subscription is there. Say for example, if the issue is of 100 crore and the minimum subscription amount is 90 crore, then it is compulsory for the organization to receive minimum subscription. And if they fail to receive this minimum subscription amount from the market, then there will be the possibility of forfeiting of their deposit amount with the SEBI. And hence all the organizations are basically take or make some agreement with the bank who will give the assurance about the minimum subscription. And third possibility, if application amount is greater than required amount, then there will be some different types of allotment. Say for example, pro rata allotment. So pro rata means they will decide the number of applications received and the number of applications expected, and based on that they make some kind of ratio proportion. Say for example, if the issue is 7 times subscribed, then this pro rata allotment is equal to 1:7. It means out of every 7 application received, there will be share allotment to only one person, and remaining 6 applications will be rejected. So this is the situation. Now, based on this situation, let us discuss the procedure of share allotment, that how this procedure is actually undertaken. First of all, meaning of share allotment. Allocation of share issued among applications received from general public against share offered for subscription and crediting the shares allotted to demat account of the respective applicant is called share allotment. Now just focus on the definition or meaning, that allocation of shares issued among applications received from general public. Now here one of these 3 possibilities is there. Out of these 3 possibility, any one possibility, either the application money and the expected money will be the same, or there will be the difference between these two. So among application received from general public against shares offered for subscription. Offered for subscription means expected share application by the company. This is the amount which is offered by a company for subscription. Say for example 100 crore, and now at the time the company is receiving the application of almost 700 crore from the market. So out of them the company has to decide that how much shares to be allocated to whom, and which are the applications will be rejected from this share allotment process. So again, allocation of shares. Now if we decided the ratio of allocation of the shares, then we will allocate the shares to all those who are luckily get the chance to receive the shares. So allocate of shares issued among applications received from general public against share offered for subscription. Here the one part is ended. And crediting the share allotted. Once you decided the name of the applicants to whom the share should be allocated, then the next stage is to crediting the shares allocated to the demat account of the respective applicant is called share allotment. So share allotment is first of all divided into 2 parts. In first part you have to decide the basis of allotment. That is called the basis, where you have to decide that out of how many applications which are those applications which will be accepted or rejected, and on the basis of these accepted applications you have to credit the shares in the respective account, that is the demat account of that shareholders. I hope you got this point very clearly. So in procedure of share allotment, first of all we discussed about the meaning of share allotment. Now let us discuss about the procedure of share allotment. The procedure for allotment of shares can be classified into following stages. So almost there are 8 stages given, on basis of which the application and the allotment will be done. Now the first point, receiving the share application and blocking the application amount in the bank account of the applicant by recognized bank branches for SBA procedure and submitting the applications to syndicate members appointed by the company for the public issue. Now here let us take one example. There is one company named with the Biocon. It is already listed and well reputed company run by Kiran Majumdar Show. It is one of the success story of the women entrepreneur, where at once her application was rejected by the bank because of a gender inequality. Bank rejects their application on the basis that you are a lady and you can't run a business because you are having your family responsibility. So the Kiran Majumdar Show accepted the challenge and started his own company, that is name is the Biocon. Now you just remember the name of the company. First one is the Biocon, then syndicate members. They may be different banks or merchant banks, lead manager or etc. etc. Now these syndicate members allot the share application to different banks. Say for example SBI, HDFC, Bank of Baroda, ICICI, then Punjab National Bank, Axis Bank, etc. Now here there are so many investor classes there. So first of all, Biocon come up with an IPO in primary market. So they decided some of the syndicate members who will take care of this IPO, and these syndicate members appointed some of the banks and financial institutions as a recognized SBA partner, where you can apply yourself to block the amount. And these are the different investors. Now on the basis of their bank account, these investors will apply to the different banks and this bank will block the amount. So first thing, receiving the share application. Now these are the investor class who applied for the share. Then the receiving the share application and blocking the application amount in the bank account. First of all these banks will block the amount of the customers on the basis of their application received. It may happen sometimes due to market sentiment, some of the investors are not applying to the particular IPOs. Then their amount will not be blocked because they haven't received application from the investor. So on the basis of application received from the investors, this bank will block the amount of the investors. So the receiving the share application and blocking the application money in the bank account of the application by recognized bank branches for SBA procedure. So first thing is over here, where investors had applied for the particular share and these banks have blocked their amount on the basis of application received. Now second, submitting the applications to the syndicate members appointed by the company for the public issue. Now all these will submit this share application with blocked amount to the syndicate member. Syndicate member is also one of the recognized merchant banker, lead manager, book runner, or anyone from this will take care of all this IPO. So on behalf of Biocon, all these different types of partners who are associated partner of IPO will first of all take care about the applications received from different investors. On the basis of their account, this investor class apply to the bank, and then bank submit these applications to the syndicate member. So first point or first procedure stage will be ended when this bank submit this application to the syndicate members. Now second point, it means the second stage of the procedure. Uploading details of share application received like name of applicant, class of investor, number of shares applied for, bid amount or cutoff price, application number, depository participant ID, that is DPID, demat account number, amount paid, etc. by syndicate member on electronic bidding system of recognized stock exchange. Now next thing is that at the time of issuing a prospectus, the company will decide the price of the share. If a fixed price is decided, say for example 500 rupees for each share, then it is the price. But if there will be a series, or we can say there will be a range between two prices, say for example 462 500, 462 520, then this will be the price band and not the price. The price will be decided in between these two. So if the fixed price, if the share is issued at a fixed price, say for example 500 rupees, then the normal prospectus will be issued. But if there is a price band, that is the price will be decided on the basis of two, lower or upper price, then there will be the red herring prospectus in which the price of the share is not decided at all, and on the basis of decision taken by the recognized share stock exchange, syndicate members and bank, in future when the allotment will be done, they will decide the price. Say for example, out of this price, company has decided 490 rupees for each share. So on the basis of this, the application will be received. Now second procedure or second stage is that uploading details of share application received from all these particular bank. First of all, they have inverted, or we can say invert all the detail into the bank's server, or we can say, just remember that this syndicate partners give one portal, and all this bank what we can say, all this bank make a data entry. It means they put up the data into this particular portal given by the syndicate members. So once the application time is over, say for example the 3 days starting from 25th September to 23rd September, when the application process is over, then syndicate member will retrieve all the data from different banks. So what is given over here? Uploading details of share application received. Now what will be the data in share application? So first of all, the name of the applicant. It is obvious that on the basis of the application, they will put up in a alphabetical manner that on the basis of name of the applicant, class of investor, that is whether he is the retail investor, employee, HNI or anything. Then on the basis of name of applicant, class of investors, number of shares applied for. Now for retail class of customer, the maximum bid amount will be 15,000 and not more than that. So if the company has decided 500 rupees for each share, then there will be 30 shares applied for. 500 into 30 share, is equal to 15,000 rupees. In case of this price band, the maximum amount will be taken into consideration, and hence this may be 28 shares or 29 shares on the basis of the maximum amount received. So, name of applicant, class of investor, that is the retail investor, number of shares applied for, either 30 or 28 or 29, bid amount or cut-off price. If fixed amount is there, if the fixed amount of 500 rupees is decided, then it is bid amount. But this 490 which is decided from this is called cut-off amount. So if the fixed amount is there, then it will be the bid amount. But if the price will be decided between two categories, then it will be the cut-off amount or cut-off price. Application number, for each application form there is a different unique application number of either 8 or 10 digit is given. Depository participant ID, it means if I am having a demat account with Zaveri Securities, then they have provided me one account number, that is the depository participant number. So I have to quote that particular in a share application form. All this information which is required over here will be quoted in application form compulsorily. If you forget to fill up even a single step or even a single box, then your application will be rejected at the time of bank blocking. Or if it is the negligence of a bank and they have quoted, then it will be rejected by syndicate member at the time of checking these applications. So all this information is necessary or compulsory. Nowadays, with the help of different types of software, share brokers and sub brokers already include or input all this detail in their database. So whenever new company come up with the IPO, then they have to compulsorily take the printout of all these matters which are predetermined or pre-decided by their particular share broker. So demat account number, see, DPID is different than demat account number. DPID is given to the each demat company, or we can say to each demat participant. Say for example, there is a DPID for Zaveri Securities will be different than DPID of Marwadi Share. But all the member of one particular company, say for example Zaveri Securities, then they will be having the same DPID, because this DPID is allotted to particular broker and not to the particular customer, while the demat account is given to the particular customer. If you confuse between these two, then take an example of a bank. Every bank is having a unique IFSC code, yet every customer of the same branch is having their own account number. So IFSC code of particular branch will be the same for all the customers who are having account in that particular branch. Same way the DPID is almost common, or DPID is compulsorily common for all those customers who are having a demat account with that particular share broker. So DPID, that is depository participant ID, which is given to each and every share broker. Then demat account number of a particular applicant. Say for example, if I have applied, then first of all my name, class of investor, obviously I am a retail investor, number of shares applied for, either 30 or 29, whatever the case may be. Then bid amount, either 15,000 or 14,900 or something, whatever the amount will be. Cut-off price, application number which is given differently in different application form. Depository participant ID, if I am having account with Zaveri Securities, then their DPID. Demat account number of my personal, and amount paid. Finally, if I have paid 15,000 or 14,900, then that amount. So if we take a simply, then in one Excel sheet all the data will be properly arranged in a chronological manner, starting from the application number to ending on the bid amount. And on the basis of different categories, they can bifurcate it so that they can properly arrange it. Lastly, I mentioned that if you received 7 times application, then 1:7, that is for retail class. Same way in HNI class, the basis of allotment will be different. From different class of customers, this basis of allotment will be different. So on the basis of that, or on the basis of all this information, by syndicate member on electronic bidding system of a recognized stock exchange. The portal which was provided by syndicate member is of a recognized stock exchange, where based on the system nowadays, due to this core banking and due to advancement in internet technology, all these members, that is syndicate members, recognized stock exchange, and all the ASBA recognized bank branches are combined in a one particular server or one particular portal, from where they can check any time or any point of time the detail of the applicant and its applications. So in first stage we received application, and based on that, on second stage, syndicate member check all the details of the applicant. Now let us move forward to the third stage. Details of application received are sent by the syndicate member to the registrar to the issue and recognized stock exchange. Now registrar to the issue is the person, or it is the office where they are taking the record of every purchase and sale, or every allotment, purchase and sale of the shares. The registrar is the person who is appointed by a company, will take care of the movement register. Once if the shares are listed on a recognized stock exchange, then it is obvious that every day there are numbers of transactions is done of a sale and purchase. So this registrar will take care about this movement of the shares of a one particular company. There are so many linked time, then Carvi, etc. are the registrar to the issue, whose main work is to work as a registrar of different kind of issues. If any of your parents are working on this stock exchange, or working on an investor basis on this particular stock exchange, then there are so many intimations that comes to your home every day or at a time interval, in which the details regarding the share allotment, whether you received the share allotment or not, all the things will be given in a letter, and if you read this letter, then you will be able to recognize the registrar of issue. So once these applications which we received by the way from this particular bank branches to syndicate members, and now this syndicate member transfer this information to the registrar of issue and the recognized stock exchange in which the share will be listed in a near future date. The date of listing is already decided at the time of issue of share. And as we discussed in initial time, that all the application will be done within just 10 days from the application received. So it means they work in it for that particular 10 days. So they have to send, that means the syndicate members can send this information to the registrar and to the recognized stock exchange. Fourth, applications received are classified into different categories of investors, like retail investors, high net worth investors, institutional investors, and employee of the company by the registrar to the issue, and the statement containing all details is prepared. At the time when we received the application from this bank, we received in a normal basis. Here we haven't filtered that information or that particular application on the basis of the categories. Here we just make a list of the different type of information, where the list of all this information is given, like which we discussed on a second point, that is the name of the applicant, investor, class of investor. Here we just mention the class of investors and we haven't categorized them into different categories. We never bifurcate them at the stage of, or we can say at the second stage. So On fourth stage, when the registrar will receive this type of information on an electronic form by the syndicate members, then the next stage is to classify it into different categories of investors like retail investors. So here they get the list of only retail investors. Then high net worth investors, they are spending a huge amount, and that's why their list of the HNI customers, institutional investors, and employee of the company by the registrar. So here the registrar is the person who knows before anyone knows about the number of applications received. Basically nowadays, due to this electronic system, same day even the investors knows that how many times the particular share is subscribed. But once the applications accepted and rejected on the different stages of time, at the end when registrar make the list of the particular customers on the basis of their categories, now they are able to decide that how many more times the applications received than expected. Because say for example, the company is expecting 100 crore rupees from an IPO, but due to the heavy rush of the investors, they get 12 times more amount than their expected amount. So here, after making the list of this retail investors, the registrar can know that how many times more applications received by the way of IPO. So here the registrar will bifurcate this information on the basis of categories like retail investors, high net worth investors, institutional investors, and employee of the company by the registrar to the issue, and a statement containing all detail is prepared. Now the final statement containing the detail regarding the applicants will be made by the registrar, because it is his work to do all this bifurcation and preparing a list. Fifth point, basis of allotment among applicants from various categories of investors is decided jointly by the registrar to the issue, lead manager, syndicate member, company secretary, and board of directors. I hope you got all these points very clearly. Now let us discuss the next topic, that is application received. Retail, HNI, institutional investors, employees. Now, first of all, say for example 35% retail, 15% HNI, 40% to institutional investors, and 10% to employees. This is the category based on which we decide whether the subscription is fulfilled or not. Now here, say for example in retail, now the application is of the 100 crore. That means the IPO's full or final amount is 100 crore. It means in retail they get 500 crore, HNI 15 crore, 40 crore, and 10 crore. But here in retail they received almost 10 times. It means they received the application of 350 crore, which is 10 times. Here they received 45 crore, that is 3 times. Here they received 160 crore, which is 4 times. And here they received 50 crore, which is 5 times of the actual amount that was expected. Now, once all this application is bifurcated at the stage number 4, the registrar to the issue is preparing the statement containing all the different categories. So now they are having retail investors list, and from checking that list, they come to know that there are almost 10 times applications received. That is, the expected amount was 35 crore, but the received amount was 350 crore. Same way, from different categories, they found out that in HNI, 3 times application received, in institutional investors 4 times, while in employees 5 times application is received. Now, as I said there, it is not the first come first serve basis. So here they have to decide the allotment basis or the basis of allotment or criteria through which they can either allot the shares or to reject the applications. So in the fifth stage, basis of allotment. So now from this they will decide the base of allotment. Basis of allotment among applicants from various categories of investors. We can't say that for every there will be 3.5:1 or 5:1. For different categories, the basis of allotment will be different based on the applications received on that particular category. So here, basis of allotment among applicants from various categories of investors is decided jointly by the registrar to the issue. It means the person or the office who have decided or who have bifurcated this all information. So registrar, then the lead manager who is the actual runner of this particular IPO, then the syndicate member which we discussed at the first stage itself, and company secretary, obviously, because he is the one who wants to know about all these things. And starting from the applications to the SEBI up to the end of this particular process, in each and every stage, more or less or directly or indirectly, the company secretary is associated. It means the company secretary has to take the interest in particular activities of the share application or share allotment. So, basis of allotment will be decided by registrar to the issue, lead manager, syndicate member, company secretary, and lastly the board of directors. Board of directors, that means the promoter group which is already there, and these are the persons who have applied for the IPO to the SEBI. So all these will sit or make a meeting, that is statutory meet, and they will decide about the basis of allotment. Sixth, shares are allotted to various applicants on the basis of pre-decided formula of the allotment. Now, for the allotment there will be different kinds of pre-decided formula which was decided. Say for example here, we are making the allotment on the basis of pro rata allotment. So as you know that in first category we received 10 times, so 10:1. It means out of every 10 application received, only one applicant who will get the share. Now sometimes it may happen that in any of the organization the favoritism or nepotism happens, where they allot the shares to their relatives or friends or to some of the recommended party. But here, as this process is done under the guidance of SEBI and recognized stock exchange, so this whole process will be undertaken with the help of electronic system, where once they decide the formula and apply this formula into the computer, same way when we are applying some kind of formula in Excel sheet, same time when they apply this formula into the computer, then based on this pre-decided limit, then the computer will generate automatic list of all those applicants who are able to receive the shares. It means it is generated itself automatically by the computer. They make a two list, one list of all, one who are able to receive the share, and another list of all those who are not able to receive the share because of this share allotment. So on the basis of this category, in retail there will be 10:1, while in HNI it is 3:1, while in institutional investor it is 4:1, while in employees category it is 5:1. So once this category or once this basis of allotment is decided by all these 5 particular parties, which we discussed on point number 5, the 6th point is shares to allotted to various applicants on the basis of a pre-decided formula of the allotment. This is the pre-decided formula of the allotment, that is the number of applications received is to number of allotment. So on the basis of they allotted the shares. 7th point, statement of share allotment is prepared by the registrar to the issue and sent to the recognized stock exchange, depository and SEBI. Now once this allotment is done, once the list of the applicants who are able to receive or who are lucky to have the share allotment will be prepared, and another list of all the shareholders who unfortunately are not able to receive the share is made. Out of these two lists, the first list, that is the statement of share allotment, is prepared. Basically it is generated automatically, but then also we have to check the different entries and we have to make a proper list of the share applications. This is prepared by the registrar to the issue because it is his work to do, and sent to the recognized stock exchange on which the particular share will be listed. Depository, because the depository is the authority to whom this information should be submitted so that they can credit the shares to the particular party's account. The depository is like a bank where when we depositing the amount, then on the basis of application they credit that amount to the holder or the account holder. Same way, when the depository get the list of the number of members who are under them or who are possessing the demat account on that particular depository, then the list should be provided to them so that they can decide that which are the number of members who will be allotted the shares by the company. And obviously SEBI, because the SEBI is taking care of all these things and they are storing, or we can say they are maintaining the records of all these things. So once this list is prepared, then this list is submitted to the recognized stock exchange, depository and SEBI. 8th and last stage, shares are credited to demat account of applicants by depository, and applicants are informed regarding share allotted or not through SMS and email by depository and recognized stock exchange. Thereafter, lead manager takes further actions to list the share on recognized stock exchanges. Once this list is prepared and submitted to the particular recognized authorities, then shares are credited to demat account of applicants by depository, because on the basis of list the company is giving them the full amount of shares. Say for example, if one depository is able to receive 1 lakh share, then that particular company will give them 1 lakh share. Now it is the role of the depository to credit the account of the particular share applicant. So the shares are credited to the demat account of applicant by depository, and applicants are informed regarding share allotted or not through SMS and email. Nowadays there are different kinds of online portals available where you can check that whether the share is allotted to you or not. On the basis of your application number or your PAN number, you can check whether the particular share allotted to you or not. Otherwise, the depository or SEBI or recognized stock exchange will inform you by the way of SMS or email that whether you are luckily to receive the shares or unfortunate to not receive the share. So, depository and the SEBI, that stock exchange inform regarding share allotted or not through SMS and email by depository and recognized stock exchanges. Thereafter, lead manager takes further actions to list the share on recognized stock exchange. Once this share is received by the applicant on their account, basically this share allotment will be done on the priority basis. Then also it is compulsory to credit the share before 1 day of the application at the listing. So it is the lead manager who take care that whether the share allotted to the applicants are credited into account or not. and if once all the shares are credited in the demat account of the particular applicant, then they move forward with the listing procedure. So in next lecture we will discuss about the legal restrictions and provisions on share allotment, and then we will discuss about the irregular and illegal allotment of shares. I hope you got each and every point very clearly in today's session. Today I try to explain each and everything in 100% English language, but if you are not comfortable, then you may request to change the language anytime. Today's homework, please write down the procedure of share allotment once and submit it to the respected mobile number or email ID, whatever it is, before the time allocated to you. And if there is any kind of doubt and difficulties regarding this, then you are free to ask me. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.